like got into a different. I actually should, but this is Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory 2, the Japanese version. Let me just a little bit. I don't want the gameplay to be going over what the hell I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just guessing through here. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Nepedia. Hell. Character challenges again. Play data. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm just gonna be struggling through the menus a little bit. Oh, god damn it. Oh, there we go. Let me just edit this, sorry. Alright. Because I don't want to be talking over the stream, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory 2. Anyway, as I was saying, my previous, what's it called? My previous train of thought got fucking ruined. Anyway, what I was trying to say is like, we were talking about PC, PC casual people who jumped onto the bandwagon of the Neptunia series once they got a PC port. Honestly, these people did not give a shit about the Neptunia series up until this point, until Idea Factory International gave it a PC port, to be honest. I mean, like, as I was saying earlier, like, I don't want to be like one of those guys that people who are like, oh, watch the manga, you scrub. But to be honest, it's kind of true. In this case, it's like, play the PS3 games, scrub. And you know, it kind of infuriates me when all too many times I come across a PC person. No offense to PC people in general. Very soon I'm going to get my own gaming PC. I mean, it's not that I don't like PC people. It's not that I don't like PC. It's more that the attitude that this particular set of PC people, and I'm not even talking about the PC Master Race people, I'm talking about the Neptunia PC scrub lords. I'm sorry about the word. Who think that they know shit about this game when they're like, oh, I know all about this game, and they're like, oh, I've played the main series. Alright? These are the people that think the Rebirth spin-offs make up the main series of the Neptunia franchise. Obviously, it doesn't. And, you know, it's really, for me as a fan, who's been playing this game a damn long time, and you know, it just infuriates me when people are just so blatantly misinformed about this game. So blatantly. You know, it almost hurts. You know? It's just that, you know, I don't want to be rated on the party, but it's just a reality of the way it is with some of these people. You know, like, they did not care about the Neptunia series until, of course, like I said, there was a PC port. And the PC ports aren't even that great, you know. The optimization of it is shaky at best, right? At best. Because it seems to be a bit, let's say, high. It needs a dual core computer, right? But like a lot of people have been saying, have been reporting about things like for example, sketchy frame rates, things like that. I mean, the bloody game is a port of a PS Vita game, which honestly the PS Vita is really not the most powerful system in the world, let's admit it, right? So it's a port of a PS Vita game, and you know they couldn't get it that stable. Not to mention the fact that I've had a look at the graphics of this game on the PC, and I'm guessing, well, this should be in HD, right? But if you can look at the game right now, look at it. Look at the shadows. You remember the shadows from the PS3 games? Yeah. Well, I mean, the shadows in this game is still fucking blocky. Well, they're actually not blocky. They're actually smooth shadows now, but they're far from high quality. But I expected the PC version of the Rebirth game to look like this, right? Smooth, 1080p, yeah. Smooth, maybe, depends on your computer. But like, one thing I noticed, they they didn't even change the shadow quality. Like, the shadows are still the same shit that you saw from the PS Vita version. You know what I'm saying? The shadows are still the same ones that we've always seen. And it's really clear to me that all they all they did was upscale the game onto a bigger resolution. So it looks nicer, yeah, but looks like all the assets are still the same, man. Like there's a very small difference in what's actually gone up. It's just like um they made everything bigger. Most of the most of the assets, as far as I can tell, are the same as their PS Vita counterparts. So it's as if you blew up the game, but at a higher resolution. Yes, probably, not probably, definitely the frame rates have gone up, but really nothing much has changed between that and the PS Vita version. You know what I'm saying? And this leads me to my next point. Um, with regards to the direction of the series. Our Idea Factory International, and to a further extent, Idea Factory in Japan, are they like slowly trying to turn this, franchise into a series that's become more and more casual, that's appealing to a much wider audience than it used to? I mean, let's be honest here. To anyone who's played these games for more than an hour, it's easy to tell what kind of demographic that this game with the nice colors, the fan service characters with the boobs and the token moe girls, what kind of audience these kinds of games are trying to appeal to, and that makes sense, right? They know who their audience are, but slowly I would say that they're trying to, that it's possible maybe they're trying to get into a different market, like the casualizing. By casualizing, I mean things like, we're already seeing signs of this with the endless spin-offs that they're making. Things like the novelty games like PP Idol and the Senran Kagura not rip-offs. Those Senran Kagura style games of the Neptunia series were actually developed by those people who worked on Shinobi Versus. So I wouldn't say rip-off. More like copycat. That, I don't know. They saw the potential to make this into, well, it already is a fan service series, but they saw the potential to turn it up to 11 with all the destructible clothing goodness that the Senran Kagura series has been known for. And we enjoy those games, I think. But how far, and this is gonna sound like some fucking movie quote or whatever, but anyways, but how far are Idea Factory going to take the whole like casualization of the series? And it's almost as if I'm making myself out to be some kind of fucking expert on the series. I'm not. I'm just I'm a hardcore fan, but I don't claim to be like I don't I don't claim to be an expert in everything that is Neptunia. Um, anyway, I know that sounds fucking contradictory, but I mean, I don't have time to explain. Basically, I like the game, but I don't like it that much. There you go. That's my explanation. Anyway, um, what is it? The thing I noticed is like, you know, what kind of games are we gonna get next? After Victory 2, which to be honest is kind of disappointing, featuring spin-offs, um, not made by the same developers as the spin-offs were, but in the spin-offs, this game, which would have made it a lot better to be honest, but oh well. Um, One thing I will say is really that, what can we do? What can we do new to the series? What can they do in a new Neptunia game? After this, after Victory 2? A mobile game? I'm pretty sure there's been a mobile game. I just don't remember it. I think there was like it's like a card game or whatever, one of those mobile TCGs or whatever, where you grind and you get cards or whatever the fuck. Honestly, I wouldn't mind to have played that, but I don't think I was a fan of those mobile games at the time. Like, I usually stay away from mobile games at all, if I can avoid them. Although I would say my opinion on that has changed, but I still don't really like mobile games. I prefer to have, especially if it's a series like this that I love. I mean, let's think about what could be the future of the series. I mean, is it gonna be, is it gonna be well, there already is an anime, but, you know, is it gonna be like a movie? Ugh, that sounds really fucking dumb. Is it gonna be, you know, is it gonna be, I don't know, more merchandise? You know, there's a ton of things it could possibly be like, but I feel that they want to, like, further casualize the series. Like, imagine it's like a mobile game based on the Neptunia series, you know, one of those, bland kind of games. I mean, they're nice mobile games, right? Like, an example, the Idol Masters, Cinderella Girls, Starlight Stage mobile game, which I am playing now, which is very good. You know, but, you know, imagine it on the level of cheese that was Neptunia PP Idol. Like, at the point where they're making games just for the sake of, oh, it's Neptunia. You know, people are gonna buy it. People are gonna waste money on microtransactions to buy fucking, like, in-game coins or gold or crystal meth or whatever. You know, I can only see it going that way. Like, I wanna trust them, but, you know, I'm kinda cautious, like, with what I imagine they might be doing. You can never trust them, and I don't trust them, honestly, because one thing that I know is that we tend to criticize, like, Western game developers for being really fucking greedy or whatever. To be honest, they are. We got the Activisions, the EAs, the Ubisofts. But you know, one thing that Dead or Alive 5 last round has taught me is that Japanese companies can be just as greedy as Western companies. Because, think about this, Dead or Alive 5 last round has not just one season pass, but 3 season passes. And the value of the season passes probably, or definitely exceeds the price of the game itself. Probably, with amount of money buying the 3 season passes in the game, you could probably buy 2, maybe 3 copies of that game. I'm not sure how much it is in dollars, but I think it's like $60. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. Um, I know it's 921 Hong Kong dollars. I'm not sure how much that is in US dollars, so maybe someone wants to chip in or something. But bottom line is, shit's expensive. It's expensive. And having a game with fucking 3 season passes, it's something you could only imagine a Western company trying to pull. I mean, based on what I've heard, man, but the prices of Dead or Alive 5 last rounds deals season passes actually cost more than Call of Duty's. Call of fucking Duty. Like, we know Activision, them fucking suits, they like to, like, you know, they like to charge for DLC. They got the microtransactions now where you can buy extra slots for your creative class. You can buy extra camos. You can buy and with Black Ops 3 you can buy shit like COD points, which you use similar to how you would find them in a typical FTP game, right? And you know, that's why I said, you know, I want to trust them, but we'll see. Like, I've got my reservations about even Japanese companies these days because of just the kind of sleazy shit they can pull. Because let's be honest. To be honest, I really like Japanese developers. A lot of the time they can make, right? And you know, for the most part they do. Like, they make one of those kind of underdog kind of games where, you know, not many people play them, but they're really good, right? We know them for that, right? You know, but at the same time, there are also greedy Japanese companies. I mean, greed is something that is universal. I mean, you can't just say American companies are greedy, because to be honest, Japanese companies are greedy as well. You know, I think The Witcher 3 had probably one of the best attitudes toward DLC. Honestly, I like the fact that they still gave stuff for free. You know, but they appreciated the fact that they appreciate the fact that the gamers' contribution to their work. Well, by buying their game is what I mean, you know. But they recognize, like, the fact that, you know, the gamers, they actually, you know, without the gamers, they would shit, I'm gonna die, aren't I? The gamers, without the gamers, you know, no one would buy their product, right? So they're thankful for that, and I think that's a great attitude to have that I wish more developers had. You know, the fact that they appreciate what the fans do for them as game devs, as people who need to, who doing this. They're doing this to make a living. Million Arthur is so sexy, don't you think? Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but anyway, so that's a great attitude to have, and you know, I wish, like I said, more game developers had this attitude that as developers they owe something to the customers, right? Because without the customers, they don't have a business. You know, you can make the argument that, oh, okay, we spent millions of dollars developing this game. That's funny. It's kind of cute though, right? But as I said, that the fact that, oh, you know, we spent millions of dollars on this game, so you owe it to us, you know, that we don't owe you anything, we're doing this, you know. But not that many companies have that attitude, you know, because of course they do this, they make games to make money, you know, not realize that customers, they won't get any money, right? So I think it's fair to say that a proper relationship should be something that we can both give and take. If we like their game, we'll buy it, um, you know, and if we don't like the game, then we won't buy it, right? Because there's been a lot of shady practices with regards to that, and you know, um, going with the shit that's going that went down you know, at Konami. You know, I know this is fucking old news. You know, with Hideo Kojima leaving, things like that. It's like, you know, that we know that companies are fucking greedy. Oh hey Wheeler, what's up? You finally joined. You know, I mean, companies are fucking greedy. Um, Going back to my previous point, with regards to fucking Idea Factory, um, hold on, my, oh, there you are. Sorry. No, I was just, oh, there you go. I was just going off on a rant about um, the future of the Neptunia series. did, did you see that post that Idea Factory made with regards to the Japanese voiceover being DLC? Yeah, exactly. You know, to be honest, I honestly I can't think of a good reason why they do that. Like, it made sense for Rebirth 3, right? There's no space in the disc, but I don't know about this. I mean, what's your take on that? Yeah, I mean, the dual layer can go probably twice or thrice that. You know what I'm saying? So, what's their excuse this time? Yeah, exactly. I don't think so. Well, to be fair, I think the English dub is fantastic. I've said that before. I like the English voice acting, but you know, I read a comment somewhere on that post that they were saying like shit like, oh, I think Idea Factory are doing this just so they can plug their English dub, which um I don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't think they do that. Who knows? Maybe someone there made a screw up while they were burning like say burning like the gold master figure and say, oh shit, I forgot something. But you know, it seems like, I mean, taking out the Japanese dub seems like something they'd have to have went out of their way to do, you know. So I don't know about that. And some guy even went on to say, "Oh no, I'm boycotting this game." To be honest, there was some guy there, the guy that had like 100 comments on his thing. He said, like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna buy the game." Did you see that? I mean, yeah, I wouldn't really go so far as to boycott the game because of the English dub. I mean, it's just probably gonna be like a few hundred megabytes at most. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of stupid, though. He made a fine point. I do agree with the point, but it's kind of laziness on their part that they want to separate it in such a way. It could be, you know. Like, I don't know. Like right now, I'm playing Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory 2, the Japanese version, and it's awesome, to be honest. I really like it. I will probably, I'm like getting the English version for like the story, because I actually got the deal. I'm not. I actually got some of the DLC for this game. Um, uh, wife. No, no, not God Eater. Million Arthur.
Oh,
The one,
oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. AKA second hand red.
yeah. Makes sense. Like I first saw her. I think I told you this, but she reminded me of her.
Yeah, it's the hairstyle, right? It's the hairstyle. I mean, although she does not have the same bust size as Vert. No, she does. Yeah, but she's a really cool character. She's got like this really traditional kind of look going on with the armor and the swords and shit. So yeah.
What were they trying to go for? Like, is it supposed to be someone like Saber, or is it like? Because I know it has Arthur.
Technically, the story of Million Arthur, it's almost it's similar yet dissimilar to Saber, because basically the story of Million Arthur is basically like there's all these people out here that are like clones of King Arthur or something, and they're both men and women who are Arthurs, and they're named Arthur too, and they're like I don't know fighting for control over Britain or some shit like that, something along those lines. Um, according to what I've read, the Million Arthur is not really um, she's like more like a personification of the game itself rather than a particular character within the game, something like that. So I mean, hence the
Oh,
looks.
they have
But
games of Million Arthur.
yeah. I
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
yeah. I've actually played it. There's a couple of games out there on Android that they're pretty boring, to be honest. I played a couple hours. God, it is such a boring game. Like basically, I mean, it's a great it's a great concept. The art is fantastic. I cannot say anything about the art, but the gameplay is so mind-numbing. It's like a time killer game. Like basically, you have you go to like an adventure screen or whatever, and then you just like you press a button to walk forward, and it consumes like stamina, and then maybe along that time you'll maybe pick up gold or you'll gain a few points of experience or something like that. Maybe you'll fight an enemy or a boss at the end of it, and it's basically just walking. You're just pressing a button to walk. Your stamina goes down. Once your stamina's been, oh well, I guess I'll wait. You ever wait? Well, I probably do PvP while I wait, which is kind of interesting, but you know, it takes kind of the fun out of the game. Like you have to wait a lot. I mean, and it
It
got.
was like one of those. It reminded me like Stella's Dungeon, where you're just like in a dungeon
It's
fighting
like
enemies.
that. It's like that,
Okay.
but you know, it's more mind. Well, it's I'd say Stella's Dungeon is much more mind numbing, but this one it's almost just boring because you're just walking, and hopefully you'll encounter something, and it's like it's pretty boring to be honest.
Right. It sounds. Yeah, that sounds insane.
But the art is fantastic. That's the great thing. That's the best part about it is the art. To be honest, I really like the character designs. Really like the art. Game is boring as hell. It's like watching paint dry. To be
Is it
honest, it's
is it on like English
there's an English version that was published by I forgot the company. There's an English version available on Android, but be warned, I think the file's like almost 1 gig. The reason for this being like it's not like some other games where you download like 45 megabytes, and then it downloads the rest of it in game. So it literally have to wait like an hour, or depending on your internet connection, I guess. You need to wait quite some time to play a game where it's literally just walking forward and hope you get an encounter. Oh, or hope you level up so you can continue walking. Yeah, it's basically walking simulator. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a pain.
Eh, well, I would imagine it's like a hyper casual game, like the kind of games like you're on the bus, you're like, oh, what am I gonna do now? So oh, I guess I'll play Million Arthur while I'm waiting for the next stop. It's one of those kind of games. Although I think the recent iterations of the game that are not yet released in English are a little bit better, but it still boils down to the same concept of walking, hoping you'll level up so you can continue walking, or hoping you get a fight an enemy or fight a boss so you can level up even faster, right? So yeah,
I see.
it's basically the same concept. Um, so yeah, but I really like Million Arbor. She's my favorite character in this game. She's like, I don't know, like a really great character. I believe she has like a side story that you can play like I think later on in the game. Um, I think right
I
now.
hope they bring over.
Mhm.
I hope they bring over a character in like most of the DLC they have for Neptunia.
Well,
Because if not, I'll just skip it.
hmm, it's weird for that because I think so far there's like only been a few DLC character DLCs like there's a character DLC for Umio the fish that you can play him in game, which is it sounds weird, but yeah. I imagine he plays similar to like the oracles where he does like some magic move or whatever. And then there's that I'm not sure if it was free or not, like that Nepgia. You remember Nepgi or
I saw that.
Nepgia?
At first, I thought it was like Nepukia, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That character. She's basically I haven't downloaded her, but from what I've heard, she's just like she's basically a copy and paste of Nepgear with a few different skills. Like she plays the same.
That well, I wasn't sure if it was just a reskin or she has different skills than Netgear. So
I'm not sure. I have not downloaded her. And then there's Million Arthur, of course. And then I think there's that God Eater girl. I'm not sure if she's been released yet. I think so. Maybe, maybe not.
well, hopefully they bring her over to
I hope
Neptunia
so.
because I know Bandai Namco is taking charge of God Eater series and doing that later this year. So
I don't even think it would matter because I've seen. I mean, I'm pretty like even in like this Gaia, we've had DLC of characters that haven't even been out in the West yet. Like for example, Metalia, not Metallica, Metalia from Witch in the Hundred Knights. Fun fact: her name in Japanese is actually Metallica, like the band Metallica.
oh wow,
Which is probably why they changed her name in the English version to Metalia, so they wouldn't get sued by the band or some shit like that. It was pretty funny, yeah. But I don't know. I see her. I don't. I probably will do it. But I hope they. I was wishing for more DLC for this game, to be honest. As probably counterintuitive as that sounds, where I hope there's DLC for the game. But to be honest, I think this game really needed it. Like, if you've seen the game, I know you've played the demo, but the character models are damn good. I mean, they're not as good as let's say whatchamacallit, Senran Kagura. I would go so far as to saying Kagura has some of the best looking, if not the best, like anime style character models in the game or in the industry. Like there's so much attention to detail, and it's got like a really nice kind of filter on it. That's not like really heavy like the Naruto games, but it's just like just enough. You know,
I was looking at a GIF that one of my friends sent or posted on Facebook, and I was looking at it, I was like, wow, that's actually looking pretty good.
it, it it is really good. It looks good as a gift, but when you look at it in person, you're like, oh man, like I'm vomiting rainbows already. You know, the first time like I picked this game up, like I got the Japanese version. Like first time I got it on, I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. And then I see the character model, I'm like, oh boy, this looks so good. 1080p, 60 frames per second. This can't be real. Is this real life? Is this just a fantasy? You know, the graphics are really good. Only problem is this frame rate seems to be well, it's 60 frames per second, but if you've played Omega
Does it
Quintet,
stay intact? Does it
uh,
stay intact at 60?
more or less, for some stages it's like 40, 30. I don't know what it was. Like some levels, it seems like the frame rate is like they put some kind of VSync in effect where like in one stage, I think it's like runs between 30 to 40 frames per second. Not because there's so much going on, but maybe because it's a design choice. Because the rest of the game runs flawlessly at 60 frames per second, even with like the hundreds of characters on the screen and you know things like that. So I'm not sure why they did that. Also, I um, they did. There was a promise that they made similar to before the game was released. It was supposed to be like you know how in Dead or Alive 5 last round there's like characters like their clothes get dirty, like their clothes get wet and shit like that. And you can see through it and shit. Supposedly that was supposed to be a feature implemented in SL Versus, um, it was to a very small extent, but it was like really dumbed down. Like for example, the AI characters that you can hit around and like foul, you can do like 2 billion hit combos or whatever. Their clothes do come off, but contrary to what the initial reports were, like the characters you have, right? They were supposed to like get dirty and shit. That actually doesn't happen. Um, they
Wait, so
do
they changed that, or
maybe they did because I mean your character does get wet like but it's like a kind of like shiny filter, a very almost unnoticeable like kind of shining filter over their bodies or like you can hardly tell, like they were promising like literally like their clothes would get wet, you'd be able to see what they were wearing underneath, you know, their clothes would get dirty once they get hit to the ground, like Dead or Alive 5, but apparently that didn't come to be. I don't know why, but I noticed that. Not a deal breaker, but it's something I noticed. Um,
right?
and
It
as
seems kind of disappointing.
in somewhat, but the rest of the game is fantastic. I mean, like, um, it's really
I
good.
think Shinobi Versus on Vita, so
Shino-
I plan on getting that on the PS4.
yeah, Shinobi versus Yeah, Shinobi Versus is one of those games that was so good I decided to double dip it. Like I had the original Japanese version, and then I got the limited edition from Exceed once that came out. Exceed knows how to do a limited edition. Like it was not some online store exclusive bullshit. They went and said it's okay. We're gonna release the limited edition physically, but it's gonna be like a limited run in stores. Once the limited edition runs out, then it'll be just physical, right? And I think that makes a lot of sense, right? If they're on a budget, because they're just a small company, right? They're on a budget. They can't make too many limited editions. I suppose IFI is doing that for similar reasons, maybe because of costs. But they wanted to said, we'll do a limited run of a limited edition, just to please the fans, because people are infuriated. Example, Senran Kagura, the one for 3DS. Europe got this really cool uh, limited edition. It came with like a poster, character art, soundtrack, and for the US version, we pretty much got screwed because we just got it was digital only, no physical editions, and so that was a bummer.
Oh man, I hate that when that happens.
It does, right? I mean, fucking Europe, really? They're poor. Their economy's collapsing. What I'm saying. Well, anyway, that's beside the point. Like, that hurt. That really. I got the game. I have a 3DS. I don't play it that much. I actually don't play it at all. I got Senran Kagura digitally, and what was that other game? Etrian Odyssey or whatever. They're kind of nice game, but
Oh yeah,
I don't really play it that often. Like I collect Street Pass and shit, but I hardly play it to be honest. But it really turned me off. Senran Kagura 2 was a little bit better, but I haven't got that
the
yet.
Crimson one.
Yeah, Crimson whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But it's good. It was, but to be honest, I hope that they change their mind in turning Senran Kagura into, because according to what the creator said, their primary platform was supposed to be the 3DS. But to be honest, I think the game would thrive better on the PlayStation because look at Shinobi Versus. Did you see how that game looked? It was a PS Vita game, but I was first thing that blew me away um, with Shinobi Versus, the character models were top notch. And I was like, man, I have not seen a PS Vita game look this good. Like, even the resolution, like, there were some games that had to sacrifice resolution. I mean, for example, Rebirth One, it was kind of. I mean, the Rebirth games in general are kind of iffy on the resolution. It's kind of blurry. It's kind of not that
Yeah,
great.
I noticed.
And also, if you remember, Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment wasn't that great for a PS Vita game, but and then comes fucking Shinobi Versus, and they got look at these character models. They're like you can see their individual fingers are like rendered, and you know, and there's so much going on. It was like I don't know, it was a really great but overlooked game, I think, and I'm glad there's an English version now. But it's a great game. I think the only thing that plagued it was the load times because, of course, it's a cartridge-based game, so you can't really complain about that. And then, you know, and then Estival Versus came around, and it completely blew our expectations. It was, if Senra and Kagoshige Versus looked good, Estival Versus took it to unimaginable level. I mean, I was blown away. I was like, my God, Shinobi Versus looked good, but this looks even better. And the creator announced that this year, 2016, we were getting a new Senran Kagura game. Oh, thank Neptune! Another Senran Kagura game. I cannot wait to play this. How is this good is this gonna look? Is it gonna be like an open world? You know, some shit like that. But man, this guy know what he's talking about. Takaki-san. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit about all that SJW nonsense. Like you know,
Nice.
like he
Getting more people hyped up.
he even posted. I'm not sure if it was on Twitter, but he posted a list about like the girls in Senran Kagura bust size. And get this shit. This is the craziest part. Milk capacity? Are you fucking serious? This guy is like out his mind. But
That guy's. He sounds amazing
the,
though.
the,
Yeah.
he's out his mind, but he don't give a shit. Like in his own words, tits are life and ass is hometown. You know, so this guy's a legend, and honestly, he even worked together with a localization team of Shinobi versus and Estival versus. So he actually has a hand in and he even made new artwork for Estival versus on PS4, which is cool. He's like actually gone above and beyond, whereas most of the Japanese producers in a game have very little or none to do with like the actual localization of the game. Like they've got like a hands-off approach in it, but it's kind of cool that he does stuff like that. And you know, I think we need more people like that in the game industry who just don't care. Like if you don't like my game,
Right.
don't buy it. You know, I mean,
Right.
I wish more companies, you know, did that because, you know, to be honest, I think we mentioned it last time when we were talking with Phil that like the same people who are complaining about not buying the game or boycotting a game are the same people who are not gonna buy it. So it's almost no difference. You know, if you remember the thing about the whole SJW controversy, of Dead or Alive Extreme Free and all the backlash that Play Asia received. I'm not sure if it's because they announced that they would be handling the game or they called out people for being SJWs. Who knows? Maybe it's both. You never know these people. But seriously, like people were threatening to boycott Play Asia, but after that, their number of followers on Twitter like tripled. Like people were like, "Damn, Play Asia don't give a damn." Like you know, with people who are complaining about this, let me give you an example of the kind of people who boycott and play Asia over Dead or Alive Extreme Fee. There's this dude here. His profile pictures of him. He got this fucking kind of Osama bin Laden beard going on. And listen to this. It's dyed baby blue, and the guy got a fucking fedora on. Are you serious, bruh? We got this, you know, I mean, these are the kind of people that are boycotting this game, like, who probably wouldn't even buy the game. And then, of course, you had the fucking people that, from Kotaku, you know, fucking Kotaku, and then you got a couple of ex-writers from IGN. Like, these are, you know, and some, I guess, indie game developers or whatever, like the hipsters or whatever, living in their parents' basement, programming games on like an Apple III or something like that. You know, people who aren't even gonna buy this game,
Right.
and they're trying to act as if you know, as if they're were even gonna affect their business, and it didn't. And I would like to applaud Play Asia because that was an interesting read. I was reading that shit live on Twitter as it happened. It was pretty funny how bitter these people were, like about people making their own choices. You get me? And like I hate those kind of people. I mean, it's like the kind of people that like, oh no, I'm on a diet, so you can't have ice cream. You know, those kind of people.
Right.
Like
It's my way or no way.
exactly, they act as if um especially these people who like act as if their opinion is so important. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna buy from you. Oh no, whatever will I do? You won't buy. You're a 40-year-old man with his beard dyed blue, wearing a fedora. You're not gonna buy my game. Oh wow, whatever will I do? You feel me? Like that,
I feel you. Yeah.
right? So I mean, I wish more game developers grow a backbone and not give a damn about what critics are saying because I remember that article posted by the people from IFI and I applaud them for not wanting to change the vision of their games, which is pretty um how do I say, pretty admirable. Surely they're not gonna. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't think they're gonna abandon their loyal fans of their most popular series. If they wanted it out, they'll find a way. Example,
Right.
uh, Moero Chronicle, whom I don't think any game developers wanted to pick it up. So to localize in the West, because technically the game has an English version, but just not a Western release. So actually, Sony actually localized Moero Chronicle as well in Asia for the people who wanted to get it, and that was a nice move. Um, that at least they didn't abandon the people who wanted the game in English. I know it. I mean, it's not that. I mean, for a video game, it's kind of hard, but yeah. I mean, for the people who want to get it, they can just import it at console. You know, so we would have a higher problem um, if it was on Nintendo with all who still think to this day and age, 2016, region lock is still a it's still a good idea. You know, if their next console is still region locked, then honestly, I don't know what to think about Nintendo, man. That they're just
Right.
um,
Because like, yeah, I really don't see them putting it for region lock. I really don't.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I can't. There's no like justification for it. Like
It might even help boost their
it
sales.
absolutely will, because for example, if a game, we wanted to come out, is only available in Japan or it's only available in Europe. Example, Senran Kagura on 3DS, the physical version, limited edition. Even if I bought the limited edition, I wouldn't be able to play the game because it's region locked. So so it's either I buy the limited edition and then buy it again on the U.S. store to play the game, which is ridiculous, you know.
It is, yeah.
And people are I know people love to hop on defending the Nintendo bandwagon thing. I mean, but let's be honest, Nintendo has made some pretty crappy decisions, and the fact that um, it's like they're very focused on first party titles. First party titles are nice, but this is 1994 anymore, right? I mean,
Right.
you know, like we know people love the fucking Mario's and the Smashes and whatever, and they're great games. But I mean, of course, you don't see Sony focusing on the same first-party titles or Microsoft just focusing on Halo and Gears of War. They're very open to third-party developers, which I mean, sure, back a few years ago, there were some like major titles coming out to the Wii U when it was still new. Like we had like the Call of Duties and we had Assassin's Creeds, but like um, Like Assassin's Creed 4 was on Wii U, but after that, like when they
I
announced,
still don't think Nintendo likes having mature rated games on their consoles very much. Like they
mm,
have some, but
they have some, yeah. I mean, like for example, there's some pretty good ones. Like for example, like I said, they did have the Call of Duty and the Assassin's Creed, and there were some other mature games. There was this other game that was really good on it. I forgot the title. Like for example, like Zombie U. It's kind of like a mature game. I mean, but like, and there's that game, that third person Devil's Third. It looks really good. That's coming out in the Wii U. It's like a shooter, third person shooter. But
oh yeah, the co-op
yeah,
one.
yeah, it looks awesome. But it's not gonna justify me getting a Wii U. Like, there's nothing there. People buy Wii U's for the exclusives. Let's be honest here. People buy Wii U's for the exclusives. Um,
It is, yeah. You
it,
got a point. Cause like I bought mine. The reason I bought mine was for like Smash and all that, and the Mario games. So
I haven't
I
played.
don't play Smash much,
Yeah, I haven't played
so I kind of turned away from it.
Mario games. Well, yeah, they're still focusing on that. I mean, I don't know. It's up to them, but still, they need to focus on third party, or they gonna be, they're gonna be left behind. Actually, they're already. I hate to say it, they're already all left behind. In terms of,
Yeah.
in terms of modern games, like how many modern games? Whenever you say, let's say, oh, the next big game is coming out, is it coming out on Wii U? Probably not. It's kind of sad because I think the Wii U had a nice concept, but there's not a lot to do in it. I might get a Wii U one of these days. I don't know. I want to play Splatoon. I heard it's good, and they're coming out with that Squid Girl DLC, and it's coming with, and it's awesome. I love Squid Girl, um, but I heard that the manga of Squid Girl's ending this year, and I'm like in tears. There's like manly tears falling down my eyes. I'm like, no.
Wait, they have a manga?
There was well, it started as a manga, then it became an anime, and the manga is still ongoing, but it's ending soon. I hope this, I hope this prods them to make a third season, because that anime was fantastic, so good, so good. I mean, and now it's ending, and um, kind of makes me sad, because I originally watched that in high school. That was like 5 years ago,
Oh,
6 years ago, and that was such a great experience for me. Like I torrent I had downloaded the thing, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna watch this tonight. And it became like a hobby of mine, where I would like watch an episode every time I came back from school, and when it finished, I was I shit I was like so, I don't know, in love with it. I'd pull out like I'd have like a random like a number between 1 and 24, and I'm like, okay, whatever number I get is the episode I'll watch tonight. Even after I had finished it, I just wanted to keep watching it. It was a lot of fun, and well, I might get the manga once they've released it in like sets. I'll while crying and eating ice cream, but it's such a sad time there. That they had to say goodbye. It just makes me depressed thinking about it. Because it was such a great series, man. Like, honestly, if you haven't watched it yet, highly recommend you see it. It's really good. It also has an English dub, kind of meh, kind of, kind of, kind of mid tier. Not terrible, not great, but it's good. Highly recommend checking it out. It is funny. It is funny.
all right.
Definitely. Um, it's I think most people know it as Ika Musume. Yeah, that's a shortened version. But or Squid Girl. So it's a good show, and I want to get Splatoon, just so I can I don't know try to fill that void in my life. You know,
I hear you.
there's no more anime, and now the manga's ending too. God, what's ending next? Saki? No, Saki's never gonna end. I'll keep going on until like Naruto levels of fucking you know, if you don't know what sake is, it's like this manga about like mahjong lesbians or whatever. It's basically one of my favorite series that I've been following for a while.
Sounds interesting.
Um, how would I say it? It it's almost like a sports anime to be honest, except they're not playing sports; they're playing mahjong, and I mean, there's a lot of there are attempts to explain it, of course, but I mean, if you're not into it, you're not into it. Imagine if someone made a manga about, say, a bunch of guys or a bunch of gals playing, let's say, Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, I know there's a manga of Yu-Gi-Oh, but like, it's like that.
It's not gonna go that far and keep your interest.
Exactly, and the thing about it is, it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh, where they're like super duper serious about a children's card game where we're fucking fighting each other, getting into fist fights, sending each other in the shadow realm, whatever that kind of bullshit. The thing is, they treat the game as if you treat it in real life. It's not that serious. Like they have school, they have friends, there's drama, you know, but it's like they don't. It
More of a
doesn't.
serious thing.
It's more of a serious, yeah, it's more of a serious kind of tone. There's a bit of comedy, but when it comes to playing the mahjong, it's serious. They're talking about all the kind of complicated moves they have, which are, I think, the only really break from reality is when they do like really like complicated moves that are like the chances of actually performing it in real life, it's kind of like really really low. Because mahjong's kind of like,
Right.
it's a skill based game. A little bit of it has to do. It's almost like poker, where it really depends on the cards you or the tiles you get dealt. So some of these moves are just so stupendously rare. It's like, and the characters are like doing this every other game. It's like, it's kind of funny in that way, but it's a serious kind of thing, and it's been going on for a long time now. Anime was great. Um, Character designs are great. There are lesbians in it, which is my favorite thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a bit tedious. And that's how it is. But it's fun. Um, for for a few laughs, or for a few character plots. There's a running joke because of the way the artist draws the characters. It looks like, when they do like certain shots at the low angles onto the character, it looks like they don't got underwear on. I don't know if that's just because if that's how he drew it that way. It's like a running joke in the community, in the fandom of Saki, that none of the characters wear underwear. So yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah. So it's kind of funny. But it's not for everyone. I really like it. You love it. What anime are you watching right now?
I've got a lot on the back burner because, like, when I do want to watch anime, I can't decide which one to start. That's my thing.
I have not watched anime in, I would say, a year already. Like, I like reading about them, but I haven't watched anime in a long time. Well, I wouldn't say years,
The last time I
almost a
watched
year.
one was, I think mine was, it wasn't even like recently last year. It would have been maybe October, September.
It,
Yeah, it's been a while.
it has been a while. I have not. I want to finish some anime soon, but I'm just like don't have a motivation, to be honest. Um,
Right.
um, right now, waiting for, like, for example, right now I'm waiting for the Girls and Panzer movie to be translated. Um, Maybe depends when the Blu-rays come out. I don't know when that came out. The movie came out in November, so December, January, February, March, April, May. Maybe in May this year. Maybe May or Girls in Panzer, their film.
Oh, okay.
What? I'm not sure. Have you seen it or have you heard about it?
I have it on my watch list. I've started, I think one of the episodes, maybe the first one.
Yeah.
That's probably pretty much all.
Oh, it's good. It's good though. I like the CG effects in it. They're not like overdone, just right. I really like the way that they did it, but the only thing I can say is that like it's a bit too short. It's like 12 episodes, I think 12 or 13, not including like the OVAs
Yeah,
or whatever.
are they OVA like are the OVAs full type series? Are they like full 20-minute episodes?
They're full 20 minutes episodes, and there are OVAs as well. And then there was the
Oh, okay.
movie, which I heard is really good. I know there's probably some soda cam videos floating around in there, but I thought to myself, I'll wait for the Blu-ray to come out. If there's any cool stuff like figures in it, probably buy it. But if not, then it's off to yeah that SE that torrent that shit. I'm sorry. Well, like I usually only buy Blu-rays if it's got something noteworthy, like how about I mention Neptunia, the anime, the very last Blu-ray came with an Android Neptune. I still need to get my hands on that. Um, that was really cool, and I wish they do more figures of a Neptunia series. But if it's
Is
just,
that the same one that I ordered for 150? I hope not.
I don't think so. I think last I checked it's like $70, um, or 75. But I haven't bought it yet, and there's so much shit I need to buy. But right now I'm focusing on getting a computer. Well, since I technically have work now. Probably I can get some like there's like a couple Toho mangas I want to get, but I'll probably wait till I get my computer, 2 or 3 months give or take, and then maybe I'll go buy those because there's a lot of shit on my back burner that I need to buy on my wish list. But I have other priorities at the moment, like getting my computer fixed, or not getting my computer fixed, getting a new one. Yeah. So maybe when I get my computer fixed, maybe I'll start up my old YouTube channel. I'll start up a new YouTube channel. I used to have a YouTube channel. I used to do like I was doing a let's play of Amnesia with commentary. It was pretty good, but then my computer died. Um, the computer before the computer I have right now, which is actually a better computer. I had a better computer before the Sony Vaio, but then that died for whatever reason. Um, so then I had this shitty Sony Vaio from 2009, which is my old computer from high school, which surprisingly still worked. And then of course it broke down, and then I replaced the hard drive because it was fucked. And then here we are. I'm just hoping it lasts until I get a new one. So I'm gonna get, I wanted to start a YouTube channel dedicated to gaming again. Start up a new one. Maybe hop into that YouTube money, and we'll see. And I was telling Phil something like, oh, we should do a collab on YouTube or something, like a stoner gaming channel or something like that. That'd be rad. Um, so
Right.
that'd be really cool. I want to get on that YouTube money. Um, even if it's just for fun, like probably like do Toho stuff, like work on the engagement with the page. So that's how it is. Um, so I'm just everything is on the back burner right now while I get a new computer. Maybe I'll set aside some money for video games, but I think that'll just be for Neptunia, the Toho game on PS4, and Dead or Alive 3 Extreme. And those are probably the only games I'm confirmed to be getting. I want to keep it low, just so I can save some money. So yeah, I don't really have anything in my to buy list besides those 3 games. So not much, not much.
What's the I'm on Plays or looking at the kind of games for the pre-orders, but I can't find limited editions, or like most of them sold out. What
uh,
games have you seen?
yeah, actually, isn't I think that's the limited edition of the Senran Kagura. Actually, I think it had a Daki cover, no pillow included, but it had a cover in it. Some people were saying it was limited to Europe, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, and I hope XE doesn't pull a fucking European exclusive limited edition on us. I'd be mad if they did that, but I don't think so.
That's some some
That
bad economy starting.
yeah, like that'd be like a kick in the teeth, to be honest. But I hope they don't do it. The people who localized Senran Kagura 3DS were a different company anyway. It was Marvelous USA. So well, technically X is under Marvelous, but um, well, X is like a spin-off kind of somehow, but it's not done by Marvelous themselves. Like you
Like
know,
their sub company.
like a sub company. Yeah. So it's like a company of a company. There's spin-off of Marvelous USA, but they're not really the same thing. It's like a spin-off of a spin-off, like a sub company, whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I hope they don't pull that on us. I'd be mad if they did that. Like, why would you do this to us? Maybe, and then or maybe they'd say some shit that, oh no, we were afraid of SJW backlash. Fuck off out of here, man. Really? I really hope that it's not the case because I really wanted to get that game. Just for the story, not sure if I'd spend money on the DLC. I already have a Japanese Essable versus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it has multiplayer, which is cool. Which is cool. I think
That's cool.
it's a full
Online.
package. Online multiplayer. I'm not. I don't think local though. I'm not sure though. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they will because it's like PS4, but we'll see. But it's a really nice gesture. Um, that they did that. I'm quite happy about it. That this multiplayer is actually a lot of fun because I've played a few multiplayer matches. It's fun. It's just a bit of just a touch of lag that even with like a strong connection, it's a bit slow. Not really slow, but there's lag. It's just the net. It's probably the net code. Uh, You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember that conversation we were having a while ago. When you guys were playing Dead or Alive 5 about the guy with that really shitty internet connection. Yeah, I was
The Mexican.
Mexican.
Ethiopians. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've experienced people like that, not just in Exodus Online, also in Bloodborne, like where the guy is like fucking warping around the map or some shit like that. Like
Oh shit.
it's really funny and like they hit you for no damage, and it's so weird. And then like you've already killed them, and then your health bar starts like you see your health bar's gone down. Like what? How bad must his internet must have been? Like he was already dead, and then after that the game registered the damage he did to me. That's like weird. Like it's probably I don't think it's the net code because sometimes I get really good games, but then other times it's really bad like that. Like that's probably the worst lag I've seen in a video game ever.
Hmm.
Yeah, but hopefully, I mean it's not that bad in Estimable versus it's kind of manageable. I'd say quite manageable. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. In that Sandman Cargo group we have on the PS communities, like they host some multiplayer matches every now and then. Um, it
Like special
lobbies, yeah, because it's kind of hard to find a game. Which is my only complaint. Maybe once the Western version comes out, it'll be a bit easier. Maybe not. But it is fun, kind of competitive, like but it's good fun. Uh, yeah. And one of the characters from Senran Kagura is actually. Have you heard of that upcoming game, the Nitro Blasters? That kind of.
yeah,
Yeah,
26.
yeah, and they
Oh,
got.
because you can play as Saber.
I know that that Homura from Senran Kagura is in it, and the chick from what's that fucking game called again? That other fighting game, Heart something. I fucking forgot what it's called,
Oh, Arcana Heart.
oh, Connor Heart. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. One of my favorite characters on the game. She's like great.
I saw them doing combat at first. I was like, wait, you can throw the magic at?
Nah,
And then I thought
that'd
it
be
was
funny
Saber.
though. To be honest, that'd be funny. But it's Homer from Senran Kagura, and she actually they actually gave her a reasonable bust size in that game. although
Nice.
although to be fair, I don't know if you've seen the anime, but yeah, I mean, like the official artwork of the characters kind of overemphasized their bust size. In game, where boobs are not as big as you'd think. They're not like
Well, yeah, the anime, yeah, yeah, I got what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. In the anime and in the official artwork, but in the game itself, it's like not that bad. It's like kind of it's if it was in real life, it would just be just a pleasant size, like the kind that you can just wrap one hand around, like you spread your whole hand around it, but it can fit in your hand, probably.
Nice.
But yeah, it's not that big. It's like overemphasizing the art, but I don't mind it. Like, well, the art's kind of weird. Some of the art they got like their boobs going in random directions. Like what? Like the fucking laws of physics don't apply in their boobs or whatever.
Just all over the place.
Yeah, it's just like it's like going up and it's going down. Like how the hell does that work? How do you get your boobs to go in two different directions? It's kind of weird to me.
That's some serious muscle control.
You know.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. And it's similar to the OMG fucking physics in Dead or Alive 5 last round. Yeah. It seems
I
like
wouldn't take that seriously. It's just like for a gag. It's a blip.
it's a gag. It definitely a gag, but it's a fun one. I actually kept it on. It was kind of nice, but yeah. Um, it's nice. I just wish there weren't any male characters in the game. Like it kind of kills it for me. Kills my vibe. But I like how they actually did get rid of him in Dead or Alive Extreme. Imagine how awkward it'd be seeing a guy in like fucking uh in like a speedo, and you're like, oh, this is disturbing. This makes me uncomfortable.
Right? It is.
But yeah, I mean, they got their priorities straight. They know who they're catering to. That is the male audience that probably plays it. Well, to be honest, once I get this game, this is the game I'll be playing late at night. This is something I don't want people to see me playing, to be honest, because I live with my mom, right? But I don't want anyone
Can
seeing this.
understand.
I don't want relatives coming and see me. What is this? What's going on? And it's like,
Going on which direction?
yeah, they're like just like boobs flying everywhere, man. Like,
Right?
you know. So yeah, but thank God for remote play though. You know, it's one of those games that remote play was almost designed for. You feel me? So, but yeah, either remote play or play.
The Shinobi had multiplayer too. I never used it much.
Shinobi Versus.
I think so, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does. It does. It does. I haven't tried it yet, and I mean not on the English version. I should actually. Maybe I should. I'm not sure. I hope it is. You can do it over Wi-Fi, right? I think so. Yeah.
I think you can.
Oh, good then, because like we're far gone from the days of PSP with ad hoc multiplayer. That was kind of weird. Yeah, I mean we're past those days. This isn't 2006 anymore, right? Oh, what was it? Yeah. So, what was I gonna say?
In-game screenshots.
What's that?
Some in-game screenshots on customer versus multiplayer.
Oh yeah, the in-game screenshots are fantastic. Uh,
Nice.
I hope that,
Nice.
but one thing is about that is they have still blocked uploading screenshots from that game. I'm not sure why. Because because I heard well because it was supposed to be because of that glitch where you could glitch out your underwear. I mean, it's not like there you could see like the town centers of these hometowns, if you get what I mean. But like they're like Barbie dolls. Like there's no genitals. There's not even any hair. But I would assume that it's kind of kind of iffy to be putting that on the internet, like on YouTube or whatever, sharing it on Twitch. But now that they
Yeah, I mean,
passed,
it sounds similar to the nude patch for the HDN on Steam, where there's like not really anything. It's just um, like you said, no hair, and it's just like a Barbie doll look.
yeah, well, I mean, that was the like you can get away with a lot, like in fucking in Skyrim, like there's one where you can there's like a mod that you had like that where you could actually be naked, full frontal nudity, details included, including for men, and it was kind of disturbing. But I did have that mod on for my female character, and I had this sexy armor mod on. Whew, that was hot. I had to stop. Like um, I'm playing the game and I'm like, oh, man, this is really getting me bothered, hot and bothered. Like
Right.
I was just tempted to stop the game, but then I was tempted to like stop the game for a bit, have a have a have a quick session to level up my one-handed skill IRL. But then I'd feel weird if you stopped to your in-game character and then you went back to playing and like, man, this is awkward. you know, like I mean stuff that you could just technically nothing preventing you from like modding nudity in the games. I guess it's just like like some people are just like that. Like example, um, there's a whole thing with Mugen Souls. I'm not sure. I think it's a PS3 version they ported onto Steam. So they removed some from stuff where there's a whole controversy about it.
Wait, was Mugen Souls?
Yeah, Mugen Souls, not part of a Soul series by From Software. Oh, but yeah, I mean, there's a thing like there was some specific. There was like they removed the whole mini game from the game. Like the mini game wasn't something like game breaking or something essential to the plot, but like I guess they could say it was like over sexualizing the characters, or so they had argued. Because these characters look like they're like young or or preteen or whatever, whatever kind of fucking excuses they had, and Miss America didn't want to keep it in there because they said, oh no, we might get an AO rating, which became moot once Exceed had released Senran Kagura to the West, which was something I did not think would happen for a long time. Like, that's why I had imported the game in the first place. I thought, nah, man, they're not gonna localize this in the West. This is too sexual. You can
Sure.
yeah, exactly. Sure enough, they did. And then all of a sudden, NIS America's point of, oh no, we can't release such things to the West. We might get an adults only rating. It's totally moot. Which I mean, look, I have nothing but respect for NIS America for the whole Disgaea series and how they handled the Hyperdimension Neptunia series, but the whole thing with Mugen Souls, and they did the same thing in Mugen Souls Z, right? They censored the same minigame in Mugen Souls Z. I mean, it just showed
What
that
is the minigame again?
Mugen Souls Z is a sequel, like the
Wait,
actual
wait,
sequel.
what's the minigame?
Oh, the minigame, it's basically like they're in a hot, like it's from a hot tub, and they're like bubbles on their body, and then you had like you could get like different kind of items to like rub the soaps off. They're not naked. They got like a swimsuit underneath, right? Like a flesh tone kind of, not really. I wouldn't say it's a swimsuit, but they're wearing something underneath that's kind of flesh tone. It almost looks like they're naked anyway, but they're not naked. And you like and you'd wipe like the bubbles off your body, and then they'd get like a stat boost or whatever, something like that, just like for temporary stat boost or whatever. And so there wasn't actually any
Sounds
nudity
similar to
about it.
well, kind of similar how they have that minigame in what is it Monster One Piece.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that. And it's weird to me, because like you know they could have done something like, oh, let's go ahead and um, add, let's say, a more visible swimsuit on them, like so they're not naked or something like that. But they just thought to themselves, you know what, let's not do it because you know you'd be surprised. Even then, people were already were already like kind of timid about what they would and what they wouldn't release to the West. And you know, I mean, I think if they had released it, it would probably have gotten an M rating for sure. Like Samurai Kagura has an M rating, and it's pretty sexual. Like you can, like in the if you played Shinobi Verse, you can use a touchpad to like bounce their boobs or whatever, touch their asses, lift up their skirts. I mean, you can do that kind of stuff, right? And it got an M rating, not an AO. So I think Yes America was a little bit jumping the gun. And I think they kind of misled us when they said there would be a
I don't even know if AO is a thing anymore. Like, I hear it is, but it's kind of obsolete now or something.
well, not that it's obsolete. It's that it's so not in use. It's not in use. You'll never really see it in any commercial game because none of the major content that like publish, like for example Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, not well Microsoft for Xbox, they 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 have a policy where they won't publish a game on their system if it's rated adults only because of course, you know, because of implications raised by that. Because you see, AO rated games are like the ones that are most hardcore content. Things like realistic violence, rape, things like really nasty kind of stuff. So I mean, companies try
You
their
said the
best.
last one on like was on Xbox or something, and it was what? That
I
couple of years ago.
not entirely sure, but there were some games that did get AO at first, but then like we edited to it not to be 3M. Like for example, the most famous example of that one was like the original Manhunt on PS2, but got a AO rating, got it into some hot water, until tweaked it to give it an M rating. So that's why it's so uncommon for an M rated game to be released. Like it's pretty rare. Not I wouldn't say it's obsolete. They would still rate a game with AO if appropriate, but most most companies they would they would like edit the game out to give it an M rating because if it got AO, you wouldn't be it wouldn't hit shelf in the first place. So they can't sell it in that form unless let's say it's a PC exclusive game, right? Then they could probably get away with it, but probably not on Steam or probably like through a download of some shady Chinese website or something like that. Like if you remember that game, what was it? That Japanese game Replay or whatever. I think that was a PC game. Like that was pretty controversial. So you know, it,
I've never seen an AO game like on in recent years. Well, even when I was younger, I never seen one.
yeah,
But
they're
I don't.
they're super like they're super rare. They're like very rare because companies um, don't want to have a game rated AO. If it's rated AO, they'll go back and change it. So maybe you wouldn't um, you wouldn't have even known it was rated AO, right? Because
Oh, because they had already changed it. I
they'd
see.
already changed it exactly. It's really rare unless someone wants to do something for the sake of being controversial. Well, in which case it's not going to end up on those systems anyway. Example that recent game that came out. Forgot the name of it. But yeah. So it's kind of a shady thing, like like what would happened with Miss America, and I guess people were right to be angry about it because they were like, this is just it's not even that sexual. Like it's not like they're moaning or whatever, like, or some stupid shit like that. It's just like, and I understand where they're coming from. That it was kind of stupid of Miss America to do that something just for the sake of being uh, politically correct or whatever they wanted. Well, though I highly respect them as a company, like they treated the Neptunia series well. Like I liked their direction with it, and I appreciate that IFI kept the same voice actors from the NIS America days. Salutes to NIS America. They're a great company, to be honest. Like they never let me down, except even when they did let me down, they somehow managed um to to make up for. Like for example, when I ordered this guy D2 limited edition, um like it got delayed by 3 weeks, and then I had complained to the customer service like, what happened to my package? So we said, oh, okay, maybe it got lost in transit. We'll send you another one. It turns out like they end up sending me two copies of the limited edition. Like not intentionally, like because it is actually sitting in customs the whole time, and I was not informed about it. It wasn't until the second package had arrived, like 1 month after release date, that I was finally informed. Oh, you have two packages waiting for you here. I'm like, what? Two packages? And then, to my present surprise, they had shipped me two copies of this Gaia D2 limited edition. I was quite happy about that. It was a pleasant surprise. I was delayed by a month, but they gave me two copies of the game. I'm like, wow.
Intentionally?
No, not intentionally, not intentionally, not intentionally,
Oh, okay.
because they had because I don't know. Apparently, because they sent it through through USPS, and apparently the track for that, if once if it's going overseas, it's not tracked, so it just constantly showed on my end it's processing, right? So it did not update. So I
Oh,
thought that there was a problem on their end. So they sent me another one. They're like, oh, it's probably lost in transit, or maybe there was an issue, or we'll just send you another one. So not knowing that the first pack that already was already here, but it was in customs, and it was kind of weird. But I was like, all right, I'll take it. It was kind of funny, you know. So though, like for Neptunia V2 limited edition, I'm like, is it really worth it? Like, I could probably try it, but maybe I'll get lucky and they'll send me two copies of a limited edition. Maybe. But like, I honestly like I got a lot of shit going on for me. Like, I can't really be bothered to be chasing down that package or whatever, and I'm gonna spend like what $200 on that. That's the kind of money I could use the kind of money they'd charge me to ship it.
is that how much it costs for you for like customs and shipping?
That's how much it cost for this guy D2 limited edition. So,
Oh,
although in essence, I did pay for two copies because it was like $100. So it's I paid for two copies. I got two. Oh well, it'd be cool if I paid $200 and then IFI actually sent me two limited editions. I go for that in a heartbeat, right? But unfortunately, probably that's not going to be the case for this one. Um, so last time was just a screw up, on their end, on Miss America's end. Probably not the same. The lightning ain't gonna strike twice. So taking $200 just for one thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't. I got better things to spend. Like, I wish I could get it, but right now I have other priorities. Like, I'll just settle with like the physical standard edition. It's no big deal, I guess. I know. I think it comes with like a soundtrack or something. I think. So it's not too bad, I guess. Maybe one of these days I'll like get like a copy on eBay or some shit like that. So I
yeah, I'm
don't
sure there'll be something. Yeah, I think it comes standard comes with like a soundtrack or maybe some posters. Is that right?
I think it was. I'm not sure. Either way, I'm fine with it. It's no big deal. Like anyway, I'm excited to get a new computer. Like, I want to start back my gaming channel again and hop on the YouTube money bandwagon. Yeah, so it's okay. I will be playing Dead or Alive
I'm looking at
3.
some of the screenshots.
Hmm?
I'm looking at some of the screenshots, and their fingers are so red. I forgot they actually have that. Like, holy crap!
Screenshots of
For the Fiesta horses.
really. Hmm. Yeah, well, I think it's a great game. Well, yeah, it's a great game. I think that's right now because once you've done, I think you'll get a lot of mileage out of it. Cause like the story is pretty long, and like there's like character stories. There's like I think five. Think about it this way, like there's like character stories, individual character side stories. They're like five missions each, and there's like how many characters in that game? There's like I want to say like 25 characters in the game times five. Man, there's a lot of content.
Pretty big.
And I believe there's also a DLC that adds some. other extra content like challenge maps as well. So you're actually getting a lot. Plus you got multiplayer. I just wish they had better costume DLC. Shinobi Versus had really good costume DLC, I must admit, but I don't know, it wasn't so good.
Which
In
one had?
Shinobi Versus had a really good costume DLC, so well, I mean,
Oh,
um, that was good. Uh, uh like Esso Versus is kind of meh when it comes to that.